Jurassic Park. Man, I so remember vividly seeing this movie in the movie theater in the summer of 1993. It really sparked the imagination of a generation, don't you think? With so many incredible vistas, the iconic score by John Williams, and a great direction overall. But it was also a very scary and sometimes gory movie.
Oh, Mr. Arnold.
Which makes it great for Halloween in my opinion. Many games spawned from it, and although most people compare the Sega Genesis version versus the Super Nintendo one, I decided to do cannibalism. It's Sega versus Sega.
Hold on to your butts.
Round 1.
Story. In both games we have two stories, Dr. Grant and the Velociraptor's point of view, and Rampage Edition is a direct sequel from the first game, where you as Grant just want to escape the island all the way up to the visitor center and escape with the helicopter. Kinda following the original movie in a sense, but you know, without all the dinosaur killing. For Rampage Edition, you're trying to stop another company to get the dinosaur eggs and DNA samples, and that's why you fight a lot of humans as well. But I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense, really. The motive is hard to understand. I mean, Dr. Grant just survived the island where he will not go back there ever again.
No force on earth or heaven could get me on that island. Either way, he probably won't get off this island alive.
Alan!
At least he was tricked into it, and then hit in the head into it. The ending for the Raptor, the second game, sucks balls. Well, really both endings actually suck, but at least the first one, you see the Raptor in a crate, ready to wreak havoc, and also you were hunting Dr. Grant, which is definitely a plus.
Clever girl.
Dr. Grant would not go back to the island just like that and try to be a hero. And the Raptor story is cooler in the first one. Plus, the endings for the first game are way better. A point awarded for Jurassic Park for story.
Round 2.
Presentation. The original game came just a couple of months after the movie, and Rampage Edition a year and a half after that. Both have very different art directions. The first one is way darker in my opinion, and Rampage Edition it's way more colorful. But some of the assets seems to be the same ones. By the way, while developing the original game, Blue Sky Software consulted with paleontologist Robert Baker and created the 3D models that were used in the game. And look at that, Rampage Edition does have way more and better parallax scrolling. And also I just love how the water looks in the last level. Not so much in the raft level though. I actually like it more in the original one. And also in the original Jurassic Park game, the endings and the intros are way better in the first game. Both games have really similar soundtracks, and I like them both. They both have this tribal kind of sound with random nature sounds and animal growls. Let's listen to some tracks back to back. The sound effects are very similar, though I did found the sound a bit clearer on the second game. With a cleaner, more colorful look overall, the point goes to Jurassic Park Rampage Edition.
Round 3.
Gameplay. Although they might look similar, these games play very differently, though in both you get to pick between Dr. Grant and a Velociraptor. Damn frogs, they are so good. Let's first take it out of the way. Playing as the Velociraptor is fucking awesome until you are in the freaking sewer levels. Fuck. This is when you realize how bad the controls really are for it. It's like they were trying to replicate what a real Velociraptor would actually control like. You can actually feel the weight of it, like it has momentum. And for this type of precise platforming, this game is really not designed for that. Part of the problem is that when you turn around, it adds an extra step that will surely make you fall. Look, I'm barely tapping the D-pad, plus you have like 5 different ways to jump, and they are all needed to do the platforming the game is asking you for. Jurassic Park Rampage Edition fixes that, and it even adds a double jump. A flipping double jump. Sure, why not, I guess? At the end of the day, it's just a video game. It's great that they fixed that, but not only that, the game doesn't rely in platforming as much as the first one did. It's way more action oriented, and I really think it's for the best. I do miss to eat compies for health, and also to be able to grab humans and just wheel them around. Look at him, it's like he's in shock. He's not even changing his expression, he's like, whatever. Then playing as Dr. Grant, we can see a similar trend here. In the first game is much more about the platforming, and in Rampage Edition is way more actiony. And oh man, there are several issues with both games here. For starters, there are several leaps of faith that you need to do in order to advance in the game. And yes, I understand that you can see below and up as well, but even with that, there are many moments where you cannot know what's down there. And in the first game, there is a lot of slowdown, and many of these moments truly affects your gameplay. Both games have issues while changing the weapons, because you need to cycle through them with a button on real time. So you will be in many situations where you're caught trying to get the correct weapon while you're being killed. If you were to be able to pause the game to get the right weapon, I think that would have helped a lot. Alan Grant in Rampage Edition is more nimble and you can fire much more rapidly. And this is because, as I said before, this game is way more action oriented, which I think it's for the best as well. And come on, who doesn't love riding this thing? It's freaking cool, but man, do I hate this level. Every time a pterodactyl touches you, it gets you all the way up to the level. And mind you, you're trying to get down. So I just avoid everything to get down as soon as possible so not to deal with that. And that is another thing. You're supposed to be finding these samples through the levels, but I find no motivation to find them at all. They're just for points. But by far, the worst part about the Rampage Edition is that once you are out of lives, the game is over and you're back to the beginning of the game. I mean, the original did not do that. It had passwords, and not only that, as long as you didn't turn off the game, you were still on the same level. But here, no, you're fucked. By the time the Rampage Edition came out, that trend of the NES hard was no longer. But this game says, fuck you. You need to master the game if you want to finish it. And I really don't like it. I think it takes away from the enjoyment of the game once you're repeating and repeating and repeating the same levels. I did enjoy the last boss though. It's adrenaline pumping while you're trying to escape. The raptor one, not so much. I mean, you fight a Nega raptor. Aren't they all kinda bad? In the first game as Grant, you destroy these bones and boom, that's it. I mean, look at Grant. Even he knows it's a shit boss. He couldn't give two shits about it. The raft level in the original Jurassic Park is a trial and error level, because you need to memorize when to accelerate your raft, when to jump from the raft, and which route to take. At least you can try as much as you need, like another game. Although the game is really pushing my buttons every time I die and I go back to the beginning of the game, it still has improved controls and overall better levels. So, gameplay goes to Rampage Edition. This was definitely a surprise for me. I did play the original game growing up, but I never knew it had a sequel. And of course I didn't know it was gonna be even better. Better presentation and gameplay. But truthfully, it's not a big difference. Yes, I think it's better, but both games have their own things going on for them. And they are not exactly similar games. And so if you are itching for a good Jurassic Park game, you won't do bad playing either one of these games. In fact, these might be the best Jurassic Park games around. But that's a comparison for another time. And so, happy Halloween everyone, thanks for watching, and hasta la próxima. Oh good, you're still here. Before you go, don't click that close button, don't go to the next video, wait just a second. Please check this intercast that we did with the director and the producer of the movie Love in a Time of Monsters. It's a really cool horror comedy movie that this Halloween you really need to check out. These are really talented and amazing guys, they are geek like us, they are gamers as well, so please check that out. Check their movie, and well, I have you here, why not check some of these other videos that I have here? They are comparisons as well, and actually one of them is from another Halloween special that I did. Check them out. Thanks for watching!